Hey, hey everyone. Hey everyone. If you can hear me, please just, if you're watching, just say hey in the comments, in the chat. Just say hello and tell me where you're watching from. So I'm actually live at the moment on YouTube and on Facebook. So I'm gonna try and stay on top of my comments. Okay. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, thank you. If you're on Facebook, please share. Please share. Hey everyone. Hi, please share. Just type in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. Type in the comments. I'll put my phone on silent. Hello. Hiya. Let me see if I can find where the comments are. So this is pretty new to me. Okay, so I'll give it a few minutes. Just wait for other people to join in, and yeah. Hey everyone. So I'm just gonna try and log in on Instagram. I'm using another device, so forgive me, guys. I'll see if I can play some music a bit. Um, hey, hey Mel. Hey yeah, hey yeah. So we're waiting to get started. I'm just gonna give it a few minutes before we get started, and then I will start talking soon. Um, how are you, Mel? I can see you're watching. How are you? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use another device for my Facebook, and I'm also trying to um, go live on Instagram as well, so that I also get to talk to people who are not on my Facebook. So give me a sec. Please tune in as soon as you see that I'm live. Don't go away. Hey, welcome. I can see there's a few people that are on YouTube. Hey, Mayne. Hello. Hello. So I'm just trying to log into my devices. I'm live on Facebook. I'm live on Instagram, and I'm also live on my YouTube channel. So welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. Welcome. I'm just gonna give it a few minutes before we get started, and I'm just gonna get straight into it. I think we all have got stuff to do anyway. Um, I know you guys, you've got some preps and all that going on. Um, so yeah, thank you for tuning in. Um, I can see there's a few more people. Please just say where you are from, where you're watching from. Just say hello in the chats. Just say hello. Hey, just say hello. So I'm waiting for a few more people to join in, and then yeah, whoever is in is in. Can you hear me? My name Akoni. Can you hear me? Please just type something. All right, watching from Leicester. Oh yeah. So Leicester is hometown. For those that may know not much about me, Leicester is my hometown, my first hometown. And then Guildford is my second hometown. That's where I went to uni. I stayed there for a few years, and that's where I had my first baby, Mako. She's 6 years old now. So yeah, nice to have you from Leicester. Others, where are you from? Hey, Instagram. So I'm on Instagram now. Hello. Just say hi in the comments. Just say hello. Today I'm going to be talking about my journey, my business journey in the lockdown, during the lockdown. So just to give you an update really on what's been happening, what's been going on, what I've learned, and stuff like that. So the whole point of this video really is just to inspire other people, motivate other people, and to talk about, to explain a bit more really about what I'm on about. I think for some that already follow me or that know me, they know that I'm into different kind of things, and it's been difficult for them to grasp exactly what I am really about, if that makes sense. So yeah, please share the link. If you're on YouTube, please share the link. If you're on Instagram, please share. If you're on Facebook, please share. Let's try to get as many people as we can. Thank you for joining in. We've got some on Facebook. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hello. Let me know where you're watching from. I've got, how do I pronounce this? Mark Boss M? MC Boss M. Hey everyone. Facebook. Thank you guys for tuning in. Just please share the link so that we have more people to talk to, and yeah, we get to have a bit more interesting conversation, and maybe we might have a bit more, a few more ideas from some of you guys. So yeah, also let me know where you're watching from if you don't mind, and please share. Please share. So I think this gets recorded. So whoever might miss it, they can always go back and watch it, and you guys, you can always share it, um, so that whoever needs the information can. Okay, pin comment. Okay, so I've not done a live in a very long time. Um, so I think this is about my third time. The reason why I rarely do live videos is because when you make a mistake, one simple mistake, you can't go back and edit it out. You have to be, you've got to stick with it. What you said is what you said. It is what it is. You can't take it back. But with YouTube, I've always been really comfortable because I can always re-edit. I can always edit. I can always retake the video. I can always, um, do something so that what I wanted to say exactly, um, it comes out exactly as I wanted it to, if that makes sense. And sometimes you don't really get time to think about what you're saying, but when you listen to your video and I get to check, is that what I wanted to say? Is that how I wanted to portray the message? And then yeah, um, it's all good. So yeah, I've got it. I've got a little baby who's trying to open the door and come to mommy. So yeah, I don't intend to be here for too long. However, we can get started. Whoever is here is here. I think it's about a few minutes, 15 minutes now. So, like I said in the beginning, the whole point of this live video is um, to inspire others, motivate others, specifically women. I know that there are some men who can still learn from the conversation that we are going to have today. Um, but then, a disclaimer, a quick disclaimer: I am not a guru. I'm not a business guru or anything. I am not an expert in business. I am an expert in nutrition and biology and stuff like that. But when it comes to business, I'm not. Um, I have learned some of the things that I know from others. So it could be social media, it could be Googling, it could be, most of the times it's my husband who is into business, and he's the one um, who has been mentoring me, or who has been um, my backbone in terms of business. So I, whenever I'm stuck and I don't know what to do, I always go to him, and he's always there to kind of point me in the right direction and give me tips and ideas and review some of my work, and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's kind of made that slightly easier, although it doesn't erase the fact that sometimes it can feel alone. You can feel alone if you don't have people who understand what you're doing, or who are on the same path. um Sometimes you actually need women who are on the same path, who want sharing that same journey with you. You need, because obviously, as much as you can support me, I need my girls, I need other people who are like me, who are on that same path, where we can comfort each other and that sort of thing. So um that has made the journey a bit easier because I've got someone to talk to. But at the same time, we started a girls in business group where we've got different ladies who are into different businesses. So the first, I'll just give them a quick shout out. You can go and follow them and check them out. So we've got Quincy Makoni, who's also the CEO of My Makoni's Kitchen. Yeah, My Makoni's Kitchen, which is the MMK, and she does food catering. So for those that have got like parties in and outside Leicester, she's based in Leicester. She'll be there. She's able to cater for you. She can do fine dining. So even if you've got a small family within Leicester, or maybe even just for yourself, or even for a couple, or you just the two of you and you don't feel like ordering, you don't feel like cooking, you can always order from her. She makes different kind of meals, whether it's African, specifically Zimbabwean, or it's the prawn boils. I think they're quite trending at the moment. Fish, oh my gosh, yes, she makes amazing fish. You can go and check out her page, which is called My Makoni's Kitchen. So yeah, she does all sorts of things. So yeah, feel free to go check out her page. She's got different kind of things that she loves to cook. She loves to cater for people. I think at the moment this weekend she won't be taking any orders, but I'm sure after that she'll be back on track. So yeah, that's one of the ladies who's she's tried all sorts of things, and she's been in business for a while compared to most of us. And she has tried all sorts of things, and yeah, cooking, the cooking is her kind of deal. That's her deal. So yeah, if you love your food and you like someone who loves food, that's your girl right there. So I think recently she launched her spice blend, because sometimes people from far away, they um want to order her prawn boil, but she's got own spice that you can use actually to make your own prawn boil. It's got the instructions, it's got everything on there on how to make it. So you can support her, order your spice blend from her. And at the moment, we're also working together on a cookbook, which is mainly going to be focusing on Zim foods. So yeah, it's going well. That's the good thing. We're on track. You'll be seeing the cover pretty soon. It's been hard work because we're both moms, we're both boss ladies. So there's a lot of things that we are focusing on, but by God's grace, we are managing. We're managing. We've got all the recipes down. We've got all the pictures down. It's just a matter now of finalizing a few things. On that note, you can always let me know what your favorite Zim meal is, or Zim food is, where you get some of your products. We actually been looking for the pumpkin leaves, but they've been difficult to find. So if anyone knows where to find those, please hook me up. Let me know the dried ones, please. Um, but yeah, it's been difficult to get some of the ingredients because obviously some of them are out of season. And yeah, some of them, they can be quite expensive, or maybe where they're coming from, shipping time, etc. But yeah, we're here today by God's grace. So yeah, she's my first business partner actually. So it's been pretty cool working together. I would say we are kind of a push and pull, where one pushes, the other one pulls, and the other one pulls, and the other one pushes, and that kind of thing. So we all have different strengths and weaknesses, and we complement each other in that way, if that makes sense. So I'm sure when we launch our book, you guys will be able to hear more about it, and we'll get to talk to you about it, and you get to hear from her as well what it's been like to work on a cookbook. It's our first recipe book. um and then we've got Jackie, we've got Taffy, we've got Princess. They've got their own agency called AU Consultancy, and they're onto different kind of things. I think mainly it's about finances, establishing and starting your business. So one of them is good at calculating risk. So the risk of your business, making it or not making it, financial decisions, and that sort of thing. And we've got Taffy. She's into she works for the HMRC, so taxis and that those kind of things. And then yeah, we've got a good group. And then we have got one lady who's just started a balloon business. Her name is is it Soiree Balloons? Soiree Balloons. So her name is Portia. She's Ghanaian. So her, she's just started and her balloons look so good, guys. Please go and check out her page. She's so good. It's for a person who's just started. Her balloons are on fleek. They are on fleek. So if you need someone around Birmingham, Coventry area, and you're interested in hiring someone who can do balloons for mainly kids parties, I think at the moment she's focusing on kids parties. Please go and check out her page. She's got different kinds of styles that she's been working on. And the good thing about working with businesses that are just starting up is their prices are very reasonable. It might not be the same as someone who's been doing it for 5 6 years. However, they can still deliver. You can work with them, and you can always show them what exactly you need. Hey, hello, thank you for tuning in on Facebook. um We've got also a hairdresser. Her name is Gloria. Her Instagram page is Glow by Gloria. Is it Glow by Gloria? Glorious, yeah. Feel free to go and check out her page. She's so good with the hair. She can do wigs. She sells hair, and even if you need the right kind of stuff to use for your hair, she's there. She's based around Birmingham, Coventry area. So feel free to go check her out. She's one of the ladies from Girls in Business. We also have got one lady. Her name is Shauna. She'll be starting her own baby shop. So we're still yet to discover what exactly she's going to be tapping into. Um, hey, thank you for tuning in. Hey, is that Tino Natsai? Thank you for tuning in. So Tinomnashi is watching. So yeah, girls in business is all about providing the right environment for the women in particular to where they can just come and just talk. Half of the times we're talking about the business, and half of the time we're talking about something else. There's moms, there's young ladies in there, and we talk about school runs. We talk about different kind of things to just kind of wind down. So it's not just always about business, 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 but sometimes we need to switch off. And sometimes there are different kind of things that we need to help each other with. It could be anything really, depending on how comfortable you are. So if you've got an idea, or you're just starting and you just need someone to talk to, the group is there. We've kept it quite small and closed up to just kind of protect the people that are already in there. And we're trying to make sure that there isn't a lot of people, because obviously the more people that are in there, sometimes there can be more drama. It's difficult for people to open up, but in our group we actually get to open up. We talk to each other. It's like slowly becoming a family, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's a good thing about it. So yeah, we've got different people in different kinds of businesses. We've got Princess. She's she's got a scientific background, and she sells CBD oil. A few weeks ago she was telling us about it. So yeah, CBD, it's not the cannabis, it's the hemp. It's the part from the cannabis, and it doesn't make you high, but apparently there is substantial evidence that it can help. Hey Tendekai, thank you for the likes and the love. So yeah, CBD oil, it helps with the aches, the pains. Apparently it's been proven to help with cancer and that sort of thing. So feel free to check it out. You can also, she also does cakes. So we've got different ladies who do cakes and those kind of things. We've got Lindy Ware, who's into lip glosses and stuff. She's just launched a business in Zim. So if you know anyone who's looking for a side business in Zim, please, you can always send me a message. But her page, her Instagram page is Cosmic Kiss. She sells lip glosses and also enzymes. So she's just launched a affiliate program where you can sign up, and when you sell a certain number of lip glosses, um I think you get a commission. So yeah, if there's anyone who's looking to make an extra side cash in Zim, then you can always let me know, and then I can hook you up with her. If there's anyone who's in Zim, we also have got a lady called Watanai. She's into brand ambassadoring and stuff like that. So yeah, we've got different beautiful ladies. We'll be meeting up soon now that the restrictions have slightly been lifted. So we're looking forward to that. All right. So, in terms of who I am, so my name is Melissa. I think some know me as Spider Moyo. Yes, I think so. You'll see some of them referring to me as Spider Moyo. But yeah, I normally use Melissa. Why? It's just easy for people to just say. When I came here, I would have to say, yes, Paida. I don't know if you get it, where you have to explain and tell a story and they ask you what your name means all the time, that you say your name is like, yeah, yeah, and all that. So I was just like, you know what? For the sake of time and saving myself an explanation, let me just use my middle name, Melissa. But yeah, everyone else in my family, they use my first name. I've got three kids. I've got you'll hear the youngest one, a little boy, gorgeous boy. He's just turned 9 months today. So it just reminds you of how far I've come, really, with a 9-month-year-old boy, a 9-month-old boy, and being able to build all this therapy. I think as soon as he came, something was just ignited, something just happened in me. To be honest, I never thought I would be a businesswoman. And I remember a few years ago, my husband wrote, it's as if he could just prophesy, and he said, my wife will not work for anyone. And I laughed. I was like, ha, you're lying. You are lying. There's no way. Me, I'm just going to go to work, do what I have to do, and come back home and switch off and do what I've got to do in the house. Why? Because that system, the old system, was always engraved within me, where that you go to school, you find a job, you work, you find a good job, you work, and then you wait for your pension, you retire, and that's it. But it's only until recently that I started catching up on the new system, which is the multiple streams of income. And I think in our society, it's something that is slowly coming in and slowly being introduced and slowly being talked about. um Anyone who would do side hustles or we have multiple businesses, they would say, oh, people would think that you're struggling or you don't have money at your house. And that's what I used to think. I don't know if you would have watched one of my videos, but I thought anyone who does side hustles is because maybe they didn't go to school, or maybe they didn't finish school and they're just hustling, or maybe things are tough and they're not educated and all of that. It's when you start educating yourself and you start seeing that certain people, like that we know of, let's say for example the owner of Amazon, or the Tesla guy, or Bill Gates, for example, they've got different things that they do. And most of them, sometimes these people that we know, they didn't even go to school. But they're so successful. But yeah, so this is something that's still new, and I wrote a book about it, actually, The Purpose of Wealth in the Kingdom. And I was just talking about how money can be used for good, really. So if you want, you can find it on Amazon. There are a lot of people down the road who use their money for bad, and it changed them and all of these things. But for me, this was a personal revelation, a specific word from God Himself. And I remember when I was writing it, I was just like, oh my God, what am I going to write? What am I going to say? What am I going to teach the people? But then, as I was just writing and reading the scripture and praying, there were just more things that I didn't even know about. And a lot of situations that I've read about in the Bible that were just coming in my head, and I'll stay up at night to just write stuff about it. So, yeah, that's my most recent edition. And as of lately, I've also launched my journals. So I'm all about writing things down. I don't know what it is, but before, I never used to believe in writing things down. um for whatever reasons. I just thought someone is going to come and read my journal and they're just going to use that information and whatnot. But as of lately, for some reason, I'm now into journals, write things down, because you can always look back. A phone is fine. A phone is good because it's handy. But sometimes, well, in my case, I've lost my phones twice, and all that information goes, unless if it's been backed up on like Google Drive and stuff like that. But it's so difficult to go to see how far you've come when you've kept everything on the phone and it's not backed up. But when you've got a book, you can actually look back. Your kids can actually look back. They can see how far you've come. My husband has always taught me about writing things down, and he talks about situations like Paul's situation, the Peter and the disciples, the people that were writing these scrolls, and now they were compiled to form the Bible. So you never know what your story can be turned into. And there's actually a couple of movies that have been made from books or from journals where a person was writing things down, and then the son went to the father's house when he died, and then he compiled all of that, and then they made a big movie. So that's the importance of writing things down. But that's a story for another day. um why did I decide to get into business? So um let me tell you a bit of my background. So I went to school, I did my degree. I came here when I was 18, went to college, went to uni, I think 2 years after I finished college. I did my uni in Surrey, and then after that I went straight to do my masters in Nottingham. um Nutrition, if you were to ask me 6 years ago, when I before I started, people were telling me, were even coming to my house and telling my mother, "Why are you letting your daughter study nutrition?" Because obviously it was something that was not regarded as a good profession, or even as a profession at all. It was like a joke. But then I had prayed. By then I knew God, and I had developed my own relationship with God. So um I had fasted, I prayed, and then I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm interested in the biology aspect of things. I'm interested in food. So what can I do? And then I started doing some research, some Googling. Funny enough, I didn't even know there was a profession called nutrition. I didn't even know. So initially I wanted to do dietetics, but then, well, I ended up being a nutritionist, which was a good thing. So yeah, I went to uni, and then after that, then I did my masters, and then after that, just before I finished, I got a job as a public health nutritionist. At first, it was a good job. I enjoyed. It was a blessing from God, I would say, because I didn't even apply for it. I just got a call from one of the agents, and they said, "We saw your CV." I'm like, huh? I was like, "Huh?" Yeah, we saw your CV. I'd even lost hope because I'd applied for 93 jobs. So week after week, I'm getting rejections. I'm getting rejections 93 times. I posted the screenshot on my on my Snapchat the other day. 93 times, 93 roles I had applied for. So if you're looking for a job, you've got to have a strong heart and a strong mind. But this is when the passion kicks in. When you're passionate about something, you keep pursuing and you keep going. That's what keeps you going. For me, it wasn't just about the money. Of course, I would have loved to earn more than I was, but um I just wanted to be in something that I enjoyed, and I completely enjoyed my job. I was working in the community and teaching people, in motivating people to lose weight. I was motivating people to reduce their sugar levels, and it was the best job of my life. My career was the it. And then I got married, and then I moved. I changed location. That's when things started going left. And so um yeah, things started going left. The manager wasn't hands on, and things just started happening. And obviously now, because you're married, you got pressures, you got different kind of pressures. So obviously I couldn't dedicate my whole self to my job like I used to when I was single and I just had one kid. So that's, I think it was all of those things that I was juggling. I'm settling in marriage, and at the same time I am trying to settle in a new environment. So there's that going on. You're getting used to the new system, you're getting used to the new management, the new team. And when you're getting into a new team, they're already a clique and they're trying to suss you out, like, who is she? But I was all confident because in where I was working before in Leicester, we were we were like hitting our goals. We were on top of everything. Whereas when I moved up north, they were so behind. So it was so difficult to catch up because I'm thinking I've got a system that I'm used to, and yada yada yada. It's a long story. Then I felt pregnant. So now I'm pregnant and I've got this environment. We now, I think a few weeks later, our proper manager was pregnant. So she went on maternity leave and we got another manager. So all these changes that were coming in, and I'm pregnant. And obviously, you would have developed a relationship with that person. You're getting to know them. They're getting to know you. You are starting to understand each other. Things were good. We would go to like hotels for meetings and those kind of things. And you'd sit there, they'll book everything for you. things was things were Gucci. But then the new manager, we when we were booking for meetings, we're going into old rooms, or we are having to hire in a massive building. Things were just so different. I think it was about the budget or something. But levels had changed, and I was like, wow, what is happening? And even worse, because I used to drive a lot in my job, so now I'm pregnant, I'm always tired, so I wasn't enjoying my job at all. And with the way that things were going, I was just like, Lord, I've had enough. And I felt something in me that was like, at some point I'm gonna want to travel around the world, preach or teach, or just see the world, really, besides even talking about my purpose, but just see the world, get to do things that I love, even if it's just maybe I will have another hobby. It could be knitting, it could be skiing, you never know. But at least I don't want to worry about what's going to happen to our bills or my kids. At the same time, want them to have um the life that they deserve, the life that I never had. So yeah, I remember I was talking to one of the girls and I said, that's what I want to do, that's the path I want to take. And then that desire, now God started nurturing it slowly but surely, up until the point where our company lost the contract. It lost the contract. And when it lost the contract in our area, it actually lost contracts in different areas. It like went down. Yeah, so I'm coming from a place where we are overachievers, and I'm coming to a place where we are underachievers. That didn't go so well. Didn't go down so well. So yeah, eventually we lost our contracts in different areas, so obviously we became redundant. But for me, that was an answered prayer, because I was ready to leave anyway. After my maternity, I wasn't going to come back. I was just going to go. And I'm thinking, now we're going to have more kids. I need to be home, because it was starting to get stressful. My husband is going to work. I'm going to work. The school runs and all these things that are just happening. And you want to pick up the kids from school. You want to drop them off, and all these things that are just happening. And I had enough. It was just enough. So I was gonna quit anyway, but the good thing is, yeah, it happened. For a lot of people, they were sad, because obviously that job was the everything, but for me, it was a way out. It was an answered prayer. So yeah, that happened. Went to maternity. I was pregnant. Whilst I was pregnant, I didn't want to think about anything. I just wanted to sleep. I was so tired all the time. And then when I gave birth to my son, September, and then I think a few months after that, around November time, that's when I started my business. So end of November. So I've given birth in September, beginning of September, end of November, I'm starting my business. So when I started, I registered two of my businesses. So I started with the boutique, which I'll talk to you about next week. And then I later on ventured into the nutrition side of things, which is linked to my expertise and my profession and my passion and all of these things. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. So before we get there, what is it that keeps me going? So I've got goals, I've got desire, just like any one of you that are watching me today. Because I am a Christian, or because I love God, or because I pray, it doesn't mean I don't desire to live in a nice house, or have a nice car, and drive a nice, comfortable car, and all these things. Not that I'm complaining with where I'm at. I'm grateful and I love my life the way it is today. But at the same time, I know it can be better. I know I can give my children better. um so I will not hide that those things are just the things of the flesh, and these are things that come and go. So I'm not like holding on to them, if that makes sense. But obviously, if I could have go fly on holidays and all of these things whenever I want, that would be nice. Yeah, it's all about the lifestyle. The lifestyle. Someone type lifestyle. If you're watching, please just type lifestyle. It's all about the lifestyle. She got the lifestyle. So yeah, I would love a better lifestyle and all that. So I registered two of my businesses and my nutrition one. I just thought, let me just continue with what I was doing with in my previous job. I loved coaching people in groups, and I loved coaching people as individuals. So that's what I was doing in my job anyway for a few years, having to do that on a daily basis and having a proven record. I know my managers, they knew that Melissa could deliver. She could deliver. And this was all by the grace of God, because when I was in my previous area, I was the only black person, okay, and the black girl, if I should say. And already when you're working in that area with the nutrition, you're working mainly with, you know, British people, white people, and you'll see black people here and there. So I always had that insecurity, like, oh, what if they don't listen to me? What if my accent doesn't sound right? What if they just shut off? Because some people are still racist, and the moment they see you, they switch off. But you know what? If I would show up, whether to my session or to someone else's session to cover up, they would tell me that I am the best educator, most knowledgeable educator they've had, and they would want me back. This was the grace of God. I would pray every time I walk in, I would pray for the room. And when I just start talking, someone would connect. So all the fears of my skin, I don't know, they'll just go away. And for some reason, they'll connect. So it just shows that when God is in it with you, all the things you're worried about, they go away. It doesn't matter. For you to excel in life, it's not about your color. God doesn't care about your color. He doesn't care. With how I was, God used me in that industry. So if you've got any concerns with regards to how you look or how you feel or the way you talk or the way you are, it doesn't matter. God is going to use you anyway. And whether you're brown, white, yellow, pink, of course, you know, when it's makeup, it's a different situation. But when you come as you are, God is going to use you as you are. That's what he's mostly concerned about. So if you're walking into a new job, business meeting, whatever, don't worry about your color. Don't even worry but that there are white people in there. You can be the shining star in there amongst all of them. I hope there's no white people watching. I'm not a racist or anything, but I'm just saying that God can use you. Even if you're white and you're amongst white people, the black people, God is going to use you regardless of how you look, or if you've got kinky hair or whatever. Sometimes, you know, you go without wigs, and sometimes you go without the wigs and all of these things, but they don't care. They will just listen to what I've got to say, and they could see the fire, the passion that was within me, like, oh wow, this lady, she knows what she's doing. So God will still find ways of me to be outstanding. I was always outstanding, regardless of what session I'm covering. I would come out there with people asking me to come back. So yeah, that was my journey, and then the job ended, and then I started my business, and then I just thought, let me just continue. Since I enjoy doing that, let me just continue with that. And I've had that opportunity to coach individuals, and now I get called to speak to groups, mainly church. I get a call to come and speak to churches, to women, teach them how to eat healthily and that sort of thing. So obviously that starts germinating some revenue, and obviously when you coach people individually, that starts generating some money. And then I just thought, okay, so since I talk about the healthy eating healthy foods and eating healthy snacks, why not provide the foods and the snacks? So that's when I started selling my own healthy snacks. So this is Sip Foods. Sip Foods. So Sip is from Stepping into Purpose. So some of you may not be aware, but my first project I first did when I came back to Christ and became a new creation is called Stepping into Purpose. So everything is going to be Sip. My podcast is Sip. Sip, yeah, Sip Foods. So if you just go on Google, you can search Sip Health and Nutrition. In there, we now have an online food store. So here I've got some organic almonds. So I sell organic foods with almonds. You can do different kinds of things with them. So you can actually blend them into flour. So for those that can be quite sensitive to gluten, or maybe in terms of calorie wise, they can still have the same amount of calories anyway, but they can be a little bit better compared to white flour, because white flour is bleached and is processed. It's okay to have here and there, but yeah, it comes down to your taste. But this was so good, and I used it to bake my daughter's 6th birthday, and we enjoyed the cake. So yeah, you can also make some almond butter. So instead of using peanut butter, I actually just use almond butter. So I make my own. Why? Because it tastes better. I get to put the nice little bits that I like in there. I know how long it's been sitting on the shelf for. I know what's in it. So it's a matter of being in control of the flavor, the quality of the food, and also yeah, the longevity, how long it's been sitting on the shelf. Because sometimes manufacturers tend to add they can add like palm oil to foods. They add all the naughty things. Why? It saves money. It prolongs the shelf life of foods, and obviously to the extent of damaging your health. So some of these things can actually be pretty nasty, especially if you have them all the time. But if it's in little quantities, it's okay. But this one, with the almonds, I can make them today, and I know how long I should keep them for. Some people have tried it and they liked it. So yeah, it's been going quite well in terms of the almond butter. So if you want some, you can always let me know. You can always send me a message. So yeah, the other thing that I started, that's been my most recent hobby, is teas. So yeah, teas. Why teas? Okay, so I have recently become a big fan of teas, not because I'm selling them, but I'm just starting to realize that, not starting to realize, I've always known, but herbal teas are the it. Why? Because you can have them hot or cold. Okay, they're calorie free, they're caffeine free, unless you start adding stuff to it. So they are pretty much the next better alternative to water, especially now we're in the summer season. So they're quite flexible. You can have them hot in the winter, especially peppermint tea. It's good for your for your sinuses. It's good when you've got a cold. It's good for period pain as well. So if you've got mild cramps and stuff like that, it's really really good for that. It's good at also relaxing headaches and stuff, but obviously some things may work on you, some things may not. And we've got chamomile tea. I think chamomile is quite popular. It's regarded as a relaxant, so it helps you relax. It's sort of like it's got sedative properties. That's what I mean. So it's got sedative properties, meaning when you drink it, it's meant to relax and calm you down, and it helps with sleep. So there was a time when I struggled with sleep. That was many, many years back. And I would take sleeping pills and I wouldn't sleep. They wouldn't knock me out. But then I would wake up feeling dizzy the next day. But when I take chamomile, yeah, I'll be dozing off. I'll actually be dozing off, and it just knocks me out so hard that I have a really good sleep. But obviously, still with the newborn, you still get to wake up. But it really, really helps to just relax your body. And besides, it looks really pretty. So these are the chamomile flowers, the little yellow flowers. And all you do is you just put them in a cup, you add boiling water, and you just sip on there. You can add some honey, you can add some sugar, depending on your taste. I like adding honey. I like adding lemon to it to just make it a nice flavor. You can also have it cold, so you can prepare it the way you like it, and then you put it on the side to cool down, put it in the fridge, and then you can have it the next day. So if you want to see how I use it, you can always check it out on my Instagram, SIP Health and Nutrition. Check it out. So this is the back of the label. You get to know where it's from, country of origin, so where my suppliers get this from. Okay, so I had to suss out different kind of suppliers to make sure I'm getting the right quality. So why do I pick my teas over anyone else's teas? It's all about quality over quantity. So some tend to add synthetic synthetic flavors. People do different kinds of things to them. So if I can control what's going on inside me, then I might as well. Okay, in some cases I might not be able to, but in this case I can. So yeah, chamomile. We also have, so this is the most favorite tea for a lot of people. This is hibiscus tea. So hibiscus, it's a leaf, but then they process it and then they dry it up, and then it becomes a tea. um in terms of flavor, it's got this nice cherry flavor. Zingy, it's got a zingy taste to it as well. You can add honey to make it sweet, so that when it cools down, it actually tastes like a drink. So it doesn't have the herbal taste that you normally taste from the other shops. And that's the thing, because in terms of the quality, some of these trees, they're all dried up, and you can see little twigs in them, and it just tastes so horrible. So I'm all in for the quality, the taste, and how it looks as well. So you can tell with the color, it's got a, I don't know if you can see, but it's got a nice cherry red color to it, and the smell is just amazing. In China, it's associated with greatness and all this kind of posh things. It makes you feel. I think it's associated with people who are like wealthy or something. I'm not really sure, but yeah, and fame as well. It's associated with fame. In Africa, it's a. I'm not sure if they're still using it, but apparently traditionally it used to be used as a medicine for blood pressure. So that's why there are claims that hibiscus helps with blood pressure. Obviously, it doesn't compete with your medication from your doctors or your GP. However, there is strong evidence that it really helps with blood pressure. The only thing you have to be careful about is if you've got liver, no, kidney disease, then you have to drink in small quantities, and also it's not recommended for pregnant women. So obviously, I think because of the medicinal properties that are in there. But if you're just like me, then you're good to go. The good thing about herbal teas is you can drink as many as you like. Obviously, the principle remains the same. Too much of everything can make you sick. That's correct. You can't have 52 liters a day of peppermint tea and expect to be okay. You still have to drink your water. It helps with fluid intake. So our bodies are 70% fluid. They actually do rely on the fluid that you drink, and it helps, especially in the summertime, with dehydration, without you having coffee or alcohol. If you like alcohol, that's fine, but without you having to drink like fizzy drinks and stuff like that. What I usually do is when I make my peppermint tea, so it's got this nice minty flavor, and I love mint. I literally put mint in most of my drinks. I have had to buy a mint plant to put in my house so that I can just water it and use the mint as and when. So yeah, um, mint is good. Once you make it, you put your tea bags in there. You put your boiling water. You let it cool down. When it's cooled down, you can now use it to dilute your cordials or your drinks. So, for example, if you want to make an orange drink or a pineapple drink, you can just use the mint water to dilute your drink. That way, it adds flavor, and then you can throw in some lemons in it and stuff like that. Peppermint can also be used for like puddings and stuff, but I've not pushed it that far. But guess what? Recently, I discovered that people actually use peppermint for hairspray. I'm still yet to discover how they do it, but I'm sure it's because of the minty qualities. I think it can open your pores and stuff like that, because, yeah, mint can open your pores. That's why it's good for your sinuses. It's good at, at opening things. So you can make a peppermint spray, and you can, use it for your hair and stuff, as well as hibiscus. Yeah, I I don't think I can use hibiscus on my hair. With the way it tastes so good, no, I can't. But some people use hibiscus for their hair. Um, just give me a like, and Tendikai, and all the other people watching. If or a wave, just give me a wave. If you're still with me. So yeah. Just give me a wave. Just give me a wave if you're still here. I know I've been talking a lot, but yeah, it's just with regards to my business. So yeah, peppermint tea, you can, there's so many things that you can do with it. So now that we're in the summer again, like I said, you can use it in the summer season to just make a nice cold drink that is healthy, that has very little calories, and also that is caffeine free. Why do people make a big fuss about calories? Thank you. Why do people make a big fuss in terms of calorie wise? Caffeine, because caffeine, when you drink too much of it, so caffeine is found in coffees, in beverages as like Coke and stuff. You can find that in also chocolate. So caffeine can actually, especially if you drink too much or if you have too much of caffeine, not only can it make you hyper, but it can actually raise your blood pressure. And when you have caffeine at night, let's say you want a nice hot drink and you have a cup of coffee, then it can affect with your sleep. Although I know a few people who are not affected by caffeine. I know my husband, he can drink a cup of coffee and still have a good night's sleep. But some people are more sensitive to caffeine than others. That means, for example, a person like me, if I drink coffee at night or after 12 p.m. in the afternoon, I'm not going to sleep because the caffeine is still in my body unless I exercise or I drink a lot of water and it comes out through the urine. So it's a lot of hard work. Before, I used to be a big coffee fan. Where I am, there's a cup of coffee next to me. Now I have it here and there, but then it's not as much because I've replaced that with other drinks. So that's another health tip. When you take something out of your diet, make sure you replace it. Why? Because there's going to be a void. Okay, there's going to be a void. There's going to be an empty space in your health, in your diet, and eventually this is when you find some people munching on different kind of things to kind of compensate for what they've taken out. So let's say you say, I've taken rice out, or I'm no longer eating salsa. What other carbs are you replacing that particular thing with? So for me, because I like warm drinks here and there, I've had to find something else that's hot to drink and that is also healthy. So you can start practicing healthy swaps. You can start practicing healthy swaps. For example, if you're into fizzy drinks, you can make your own fizzy drinks. I will upload a video on my Instagram. So yeah, I'm into the teas now. So there's so much that we sell on our store. So you can visit Sip Health and Nutrition. There's some flax seeds, they've got chia seeds. Some of these things you might not even know how to use them, but I've actually written down the instructions. If you're not sure, you can always ask me. You can always reach out. Some of these things, they add fiber to your meals, to your diets. Why is fiber good? Because it's good at just cleaning the system out. So that's why people make a big fuss out of them. They provide some good oils that are good for your brain. The brain has got essential oils that it requires for it to think well and to do its job properly. So you can get them from some of these sources. So I have grouped all those things out. If it's food, even if you're trying to find sugar alternatives, you can go on my website. There's some sugar alternatives that you can find on there, so that people just make healthier decisions. So instead of me just saying go and eat healthily, I'm actually saying yes, this is what's healthy. Although I've not gone to the extent of selling perishable foods, for example, fruits and brown bread and seed, but I do sell seeds. Okay, so you can go on there and find out if there's anything that you like. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the love. So yeah, thank you so much. I was gonna ask, is there anyone with a question? So let me see if there's any questions on Facebook. Is there anything that you feel I've left out in terms of my health business that you'd like to know? So fire away, guys. Fire away. Fire away. Any questions? What would you like to know? So, what would you like to know about my business journey? Any questions? We've only got a few minutes. What would you like to know? Business journey is whether it's about my teas. So, in terms of what I've got, I sell peppermint. I have got hibiscus. This is the nice posh one that everybody likes, even in this house. And my clients, they like the hibiscus. And we've got the chamomile. Chamomile, I usually have it before bed. What keeps you going as a businesswoman? So I've got a quick question on Instagram. What keeps me going? For me, it's the goals, the desires, the dream. I think if I die today, there's always this thing that the thought that crosses my head. If I die today, what have I built? What am I going to leave for my children? What am I going to leave for my children? So I'll let you in on something personal. My dad died 11 years ago, and oh, he had businesses before and stuff like that. But then when he moved here, he gave up everything, to kind of give us a better life. But then when he died, he literally didn't have much, that I didn't have anything of my father's, and we kind of had to start from scratch, if that makes sense. So and my mother went through the same thing, where her dad was rich once, and he didn't do so well, and then when he died, he had nothing. So for me, I'm trying to build a legacy for my kids. I'm trying to build funds for my children. We all, I think, watched Harry's situation, Harry and Meghan, when he was saying that his mom left money for him, although Diana died many, many years ago, but she had put certain things in place for her son, just in case things go wrong. And now that's the money he's using to look after his own family and to build a legacy for his own son. So it's just the thought of me leaving something for my kids, that when I go, there's money, passive income coming. So obviously with the nutrition business, it's not passive income because I'm going to have to work for it. But there are other things that I've started doing that even when I die, they can still make money from them. So those are some of the things I've actually been focusing on and concentrating on, building passive income, that when I go, my kids can still get money, even if it's £5 a month or something like that. But at least she wasn't gonna pick that £5 from nowhere. She is gonna be getting some money from there. So that's what keeps me going. Sometimes I could be sitting there watching TV, but I think if I die today, what's gonna look after my kids. So yeah, and I think my husband is kind of the same. He's working towards building something for our kids and stuff. So yeah, that's what keeps me going. What keeps you going? I know I've got hustlers here. What keeps you going? I know I've got a few ladies who've got side hustles, and hopefully they're still watching. So what keeps you going in terms of business? I'd like to hear from you guys. What keeps you going? Because whatever your answer is the one that's gonna let you push through the hard times. So many times you will feel like giving up, and you just want to just sit there and do a 9 to 5 job just like everybody else, wait for your pension and retire. But then if you die today, what's gonna happen? Who's gonna what's gonna look after your kids? So what keeps you going? So let me hear from some of the ladies. What keeps you going? Quincy, let's hear from you. What keeps you going in terms of business? You've been pushing Mama for 5 years. Okay. I didn't realize other people watching. Why are you passionate? Okay, so I think I spoke about this in the beginning of the video. Okay, so I'm just gonna get to you in a minute, Tawonga. Quincy saying my kids and wanting a good life. Yeah, we're all about the lifestyle, honey. Lifestyle. They want the lifestyle. I think in this generation, people are wanting to be different. We don't want our kids to live the lives that we live. So going back to Tawonga's question, why am I passionate about nutrition? So when I was in high school, I was into my sciences. I was into my biology, to be specific. I was so into what goes inside the body. What happens, what happens. And then when I moved here and I went to college, I started to know more about food and what happens. And at the same time, I was so interested in cooking because my auntie, the one I grew up with, was a chef. Yeah. So my auntie was a chef, and I wanted to be a medical doctor so that I help people. Okay. So there's two things. I'm coming from a background where I'm being raised by a chef, and at the same time, I've got dreams to become a doctor so that I help people. All right. So when I came here, I realized I could put those two things together: food and the medical side of things, which is now my career, helping people, understanding what goes inside, how it impacts the health of an individual, and what can be done. So, like I was saying, I had to pray and I had to fast, and I said, God, show me the way. And that's when I started looking into different kind of roles that allow me to merge those two things together, which is the medical side of things, helping people, and also the food side of things, what's going in. So yeah, that's why I'm passionate about that. I love food, and also I love knowing what is it gonna do to me when it gets inside of me, if that makes sense. What is it gonna do to me when it gets inside of me? How is it gonna impact my life? And when you start studying about diabetes and all these things, and you're like, oh my gosh, because my dad had diabetes, and you start learning more and getting more education on how just a simple, it's not a simple thing, but how one thing can affect everything else. Because when now you're obese and you've got diabetes, it affects your partner, it affects your kids, it affects everything else, if especially if you don't manage it so well. So yeah, nutrition has been my thing. But I'll tell you this: when I was applying to uni, initially applied for dietetics, which is the more medical side of things. And then apparently the way I had written my personal statement, they said you are fit for nutrition. So I was gutted because I'm thinking, no, I want to work in the hospital. Because why? I've always wanted to be a doctor. However, the nutrition bit turned out to be the best thing for me, the best decision of my life, because there aren't any restrictions. With dietitians, they just follow a system. Is that blue? You, when the blood sugars go up, you prescribe medication. They're pretty much like doctors. But with nutrition, you are actually helping someone without them going on medication. You're giving someone a shot. I've got 27 seconds remaining on Instagram. You're giving someone an opportunity to make changes without them being on going on medication. Or, because when you start taking medication, they've got side effects, and then those side effects, and then it starts, it becomes that vicious cycle. For example, if your cholesterol goes up and they give you the medication for cholesterol, it can start making your sugar levels going up. However, that's something the doctors don't even tell you. That's something the GPs apparently were not aware about, that you can actually reduce your sugar levels and your all the other blood parameters, even just eating healthily. So yeah, it's something that I also practice. I wouldn't say like obsessed with my food or anything. I still do eat ice cream and all of these things, but somehow in the back of my mind, I'm kind of conscious of what I'm eating. And I'm aware of, the saturated fats and all of these things. So I thank God for the knowledge. And I also thank God that I have the ability to switch off, that I'm not becoming obsessed with, the whole nutrition thing and letting it get to me. Because sometimes people can get so much into their numbers. And yeah. Okay. Any more questions? Thank you for the question, and thank you for tuning in. Any more questions? I can see Rue has just tapped in. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the love. Any more questions with regards to my business journey in lockdown? So yeah, life is what you make it. That's all I've got to say to you. Life is what you make it. There's so much that's going on in the season. But there's also people making millions in this season. So I say to myself, I'm not going to be one of the people who will say, oh, things have been hard during the COVID, but I'm going to come out on the other end, on the other side of things. I want to be one of the people who will say, who testify on the opposite, really, and, have a good story to tell. So it all comes down to when you now focus in your mind and you say, this is this is what I want, this is the life I want, you will see that things will start falling into place, and that God's grace will keep you going, because so many times you can give up, business can drive you mad, you can feel all kinds of things. However, with God guiding you, He can definitely keep you going. I think some of the people have logged in late. So, yeah, I'll just wave to you guys. Any more questions? Any more questions? Come on, guys. Any more questions? I think my Instagram is kind of run out now. And if you got any more questions, what about you, Tab? What keeps you going? Tay, what keeps you going? Why are you so passionate about what you do? Hopefully we get to hear from you at some point. I know I've got some boss ladies watching me at the moment. Um, Other ladies, again, if you're interested in, if you've got an idea and there's something that you're passionate about and you don't know where to start, you can always send me a message. Like I said, I am not the guru and I am not an expert in business. I learn from my husband every day, and I do a lot of research. I read around, I watch around. Okay, someone saying, I once heard that tea mixed with another and I got high. What do you mean you got high? Do you mean like do you mean like got high like weed high, or what do you mean, Ru? Is it purple hibiscus? Hibiscus is it's like a cherry color. It's a red cherry color. So I don't know if you can see from there. This camera is a bit different. So it's a bit of a red cherry color. But yeah, it's quite close. I wouldn't say purple, but yeah, um the tea. So yeah, with hibiscus, like I said, if you've got kidney issues or if you're pregnant, then it's not for you. Like I said, it used to be used for medicinal purposes in Africa and stuff like that. So it's okay to have, like, I have hibiscus once a day, and then usually, so I would have peppermint in the morning, or maybe when I'm feeling a bit, yeah, and then I like my hibiscus for just relaxing, when I'm just relaxing. And then at night before I go to bed, I have my chamomile. It's not every day that I'm able to follow through, but yeah, the chamomile just helps me relax, because sometimes I can get quite anxious, especially if I've got a project that I'm working on and my mind is just going and going and going. But the chamomile just helps me to just knock my body out, not like a drug as such, but yeah, it's very responsive to the compounds that are within the chamomile. So yeah, any questions with regards to the product? So if you want to try some, I can send you a sample and you can give it a go. Like I said, it's quite a posh drink. It's not something that you'll be drinking like 3 times a day, or 5 times a day, if that makes sense. So yeah, um, if you want some, you can always send me a message and I can send you a sample. Anyone else with regards to the products, with regards to the teas, with regards to my health profession as a nutritionist? You can always send me a message. I'm always there to help. If there's anyone that you know that will require my services, you can always refer them to me. Or if there's anyone that will be needing like foods, healthy foods, and if you're not sure how to use them, you can always send me a message. I'm always happy to help. Obviously, in some cases, I can't do it for free, and I can't send you teas for free. But if you want to just start off with a sample, I can send you a free sample. All you do is pay for the packaging or for the posting, and then you can give it a go. If you like it, and then you can order this full pack. So a sample is it's a smaller one. You can have about a drink or 2 drinks. Like I said, you can use it hot. You can have it as hot, or you can have it as cold, whatever you like. Put some ice, put some lemons in there, make it look pretty. You've got to make your food look pretty. Otherwise, it's not going to be exciting to eat or to drink. So thank you guys for the questions. I hope to see you next week. So this is meant to be like a weekly thing. It's been lovely talking to you guys, and thank you so much for tuning in. Next week, I'll let you know what day I'm going to be available, because mommy issues. You've got to see, check the schedule and all of these things, see how baby is, and all of that kind of stuff, how the kids are, and how the house is, and all of those kind of things. You know, you're a wife now, so you've got to be responsible. So yeah, we'll meet next week, and hopefully, if there's anything that you need to ask, you can always write down the questions, and we can always discuss them next week. Even if you want to join, feel free to join in. I can always put you on camera. So thank you guys. Until we meet next time, next week we'll be here same time.